Hi ladies, welcome to today's webinar where I'm going to be showing you how you can balance your hormones so you can burn fat. And that's not just for weight loss but for unlimited health. So we're going to do it in 6 easy steps for you today. So here is my promise for you. We're going to, or you will, have clarity on exactly how to switch your body over to burning fat. You're going to lose weight effortlessly, naturally, and sustainably. And we're going to do that by working smarter, not harder. So you're going to speed up your metabolism, at least double your energy, and you're going to look at yourself in the mirror in the clothes that you love and just smile. Okay, so that's my promise to you today. So let me tell you a little bit about me. My name's Natalie, founder of Fat Burning Woman. My background's in nutritional therapy, personal training, life coaching. I absolutely love science and how things work. So sometimes I do get a bit excited and I talk fast. I have a little bit of a Kiwi twang as well. So you may need to ask me to slow down, or if you're watching the replay, just press pause. Make sure that you've got a pen and paper today because I'm going to go over a lot of information and I'm going to do it in a very short period of time. And at the end, I'm going to show you how you can find out more and instill it into your life. Now, this is the nice picture of me. This is the not so nice picture of me. Because when I was 25, my body gave up on me, okay? I struggled with anxiety, depression. I was diagnosed as manic depressant or bipolar. I reached burnout. My adrenal glands basically crashed. I had fluctuating weight. I had skin issues. I was so stressed. I had a miscarriage. I was sleeping like 15 hours a night, and on the weekend because I was so tired. I had brain fog all the time. And here's the thing, I was actually eating healthy and trying to live a healthy life. I was a personal trainer, so I really thought I knew a thing or two. So I just accepted that my life would be chronic exhaustion, poor cognitive functioning, tricep and butt and thigh fat, anxious, self-conscious about getting older and fatter. I was basically barely surviving. This photo here, I actually took a pregnancy test because I thought I was pregnant, but I'm not. I'm eating healthy. I was having some beautiful green smoothies every single day for breakfast. So it was really frustrating. I was living what I thought was healthy and I still felt like crap. And I really just started to get very overwhelmed and hopeless. And I'm sure you guys have experienced the same thing. Have you experienced that same thing? Overwhelmed and helpless because nothing works. You're doing exactly what you thought you would be. Well, my body got really sick. Okay, so I got to the stage where I couldn't walk. I hit a real crisis point in my life. I actually got a diagnosis for degenerative and incurable autoimmune arthritis, so would possibly end up in a wheelchair. This is me as a healthy personal trainer. So as you can imagine, something really wasn't quite right. So I researched everything out there, every healing diet I could find. I went vegan, I was paleo for a bit, I did the GAPS healing protocol, I started Gerson, I studied nutritional therapy and life coaching. I got a coach myself and I really just overhauled my nutrition, mindset and exercise. And here's what I learned, okay? Because I did a lot of research and a lot of study and a lot of practice on my own body. There's ways that you can lose weight without dieting or counting calories. There is strategic ways you can make your new habits stick. There are ways for weight loss and health to be effortless, for it to be natural and sustainable as well, so no deprivation. Or on and off again of the wagon. And there's ways that you can love your imperfect self. And when I realized this, I unlocked a level of consistent energy I had never ever experienced. I didn't realize how much I was missing out on until I actually unlocked it and tapped into that energy source. I tapped into a brain function that was a real high level. I had no idea how foggy my brain had been. Think, baby brain, from, that baby brain to basically laser sharp focus. I can now look in the mirror and just love what I see. I smile like all the time. I'm happy. I enjoy my time in the present moment with my family. I don't worry about how I'm holding my arms and legs in photos. So I used to have to get the position right, and then I have to take photos over and over again. I eat when I'm hungry, and I'm stopped when I'm full. And I don't feel guilty about my food at all. I don't have to count calories anymore. I don't have to think about how much I've got to work things off. And my exercise, instead of working my butt off with my exercise, as I used to do as a trainer, now I just play with my family. I walk the kids to school, I go to the park, I just do this type of exercise that I enjoy. So my question to you today is, why is it important for you to love the person or love the woman in the mirror, to have energy all day long, to have mental clarity? Why is that important for you? Okay. So now I just want to talk about some of these current frustrations that we have that have kind of brought me to my journey and brought you to here today. At the moment, you're frustrated with the loss of motivation, okay? So at the moment, you might get started on something, you get excited, you start for a little bit, last a few weeks, and then, hey, those cookies pop up at the birthday party. Or you go out for drinks with friends and then end up eating whatever tickles your fancy and just fall off that wagon again. Basically, life happens. You start focused and then life happens. You get stressed or busy or sad. Something pops up and gets in the way, an event, and then you just lose that focus. And that's frustrating. Why can't you stay focused? Why can't you stay motivated? But also, emotions rule you. You eat emotionally. You hate that woman in the mirror. Some of the stories that you tell me are awful, that you hide in these big baggy clothes. You don't go to the beach or the pool. You're ashamed that you don't want people to see you in photos. You don't let people take photos of you. These are the stories that you're telling me. You're embarrassed, ashamed, disappointed, sad, worried, scared. These emotions are ruling your life. You feel like a failure because you can't stick to anything. You must be a failure. You must be gluttonous because you're overweight. So we know that must be because of what you eat, or you're lazy. So you feel like a failure. And then that just results in self-sabotage cycles. But you're also exhausted. You're waking up tired in the morning, or you're crashing throughout the day. Some of you find it hard to fall asleep at night. You're just wired, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Or you wake up about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'll tell you why you wake up at that time as well. So you're just exhausted in the day. It doesn't matter what you eat or drink. It doesn't matter what you do. You're just tired all the time. You've got to the stage where nothing works anymore. You actually know quite a bit. You do all the research. You read all the books. You have the healthy recipes. You eat healthy and you exercise, but still that doesn't work. You've tried the pills, the shakes, the vitamins, the doctors, the nutritionists, the naturopaths, the Weight Watchers, and other diet plans. You've tried it all. I know because you tell me. And that just leaves you overwhelmed. There's so much conflicting information out there. Eat this, don't eat this. It's the same thing, but someone's saying eat it, someone's saying don't eat it. High fat, low fat. High carb, low carb. This is a superfood, but it actually does this to your body as well. It's so confusing. You're not the expert yet. You're supposed to be, healthy. Everyone's expecting you to be healthy. You're expecting to be healthy. You just have no idea where to start, so you don't. Or you start something and then stop it because you don't actually know if it's going to work. All this information is just overwhelming. I tell you what the real fear is, and this is some of the conversations I have with you, is that you just have to give up. That there actually isn't an answer. That you're just going to be overweight and unhappy forever. That you've got to the stage where you're ready to give up. And that is sad. Life is so beautiful and amazing. But that's how you're feeling. It's a never-ending cycle. Let me tell you a quick story. There was a study done. It was released last year, so 2016. It was done on 2009 Biggest Loser contestants. They had some metabolic testing. They had the testing done before the competition. They had a testing done at the end of the competition. They had the testing done 6 years later. So this is a really critical study, and I think it just so beautifully really disappointingly explains why you've got to this stage. Because at the end of the day, what we're working on is, and what we're going to be talking about, is burning fat versus burning glucose. And with these Biggest Loser contestants, they were on a calorie restricted diet of about 1,200 calories. They were working out like 90 minutes a day at least, 6 days a week. So they were kind of doing our version of what is healthy, our version of weight loss. That is still the description on the internet if you look up weight loss or overweight. It's just calories in, calories out, and they're doing exactly that. And you know what? They lose the weight over that competition because they're working out very hard. So there's a massive calorie deficit there. But guess what happens at the end of the competition? They have virtually no leptin. Now this is your satiety hormone. So they basically leave the competition and are ravenous. It is almost zero, that hormone within their body, which is very scary. And what also happens is their metabolism decreases. So it goes from about 2,600 down below 2,000. And that is reasonably somewhat normal. It is a big drop, but it's what happens is as your body gets smaller, you've got a smaller house to run, so you don't need the metabolism to be as fast, because it's a smaller body to run. So that's not as shocking. So they've finished the competition, they've run out of leptin, so they go home without the support, and they're basically ravenous. So they're so hungry. So naturally, these guys are putting on their weight. All but one put on the weight back on, and when we do the testing 6 years later, what happens is the metabolism never goes back again. So the weight goes back on, okay, which means they've got a bigger house to run, which means the metabolism should go back up again, but it doesn't. So they permanently damage their metabolism. And what happens with the leptin, it goes up somewhat, not as much as we probably would have expected, but it's now out of sync with the metabolism. So as leptin increases, so should your metabolism, and vice versa. So now the metabolism and your hormones are out of sync. So this is the kind of damage that happens when we're following this weight loss model that everyone is telling us to do. I know, I was a personal trainer. I used to train you so hard, restrict your calories to get you your results. But it just doesn't work. The two metabolisms are very different. The metabolism of fat, the metabolism of glucose are very different. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. But what I guess I want to paint the picture of here is all these frustrations that you have, these problems, these barriers that you keep coming up against are not your fault, okay? I know you feel like you're lazy because you're not doing enough exercise to lose the weight. I know that you feel like you're gluttonous or greedy because you must be eating too much because you've put on so much weight, but that is not the case, okay? We've set you up for failure with this system that damages your metabolism and your hormone balance. Now, this exercise more, eat less model, it happens while you're in your 20s and 30s, and then what happens is because the metabolism then slows down as a result of this, these cycles of abuse that we put the body through, as I meet you in your 40s and 50s when your metabolism has slowed down and your hormones are out of balance and nothing works anymore. But please don't give up. I have the answers for you, okay? I know what you really want and I know how to get it for you. So first of all, you want a diet that works, okay? It's confusing because there's lots of diets out there, I get that. But here is the checklist of what would be the perfect diet. You want one that helps you lose weight. You want one that gives you loads of energy, because there's no point in losing weight if you're feeling lethargic all the time because you don't have enough energy. You want something that's balanced and flexible, because if it's too rigid, then you just fall off the wagon, as they say. You want to be able to go to a friend's place where they've cooked you a meal and not say, sorry, I'm on a diet. You want to be able to enjoy that meal. So you need that flexibility. You want something that's balanced. You want something that's indulgent. You don't want to deprive yourself, because if you continue to deprive yourself, then we go into this black and white, all or nothing type thinking, and that's how we self-sabotage again. You also want something that's sustainable, that's going to last a lifetime, so that you can have a lifestyle that is healthy, that gives you all these things. And naturally, you want it to fit in with your life, your family. So this is the checklist of what you want. You want a diet that helps you lose weight, gives you loads of energy, it's balanced and flexible, it's indulgent, it's sustainable, and it's family friendly. You also want to be in control. You don't want to be obsessed with food, counting calories. Some of the stories that you've told me is that you're going somewhere and then you're eating something and then all you're thinking about is how you're going to work those calories off. That's no way to live. That is an obsession with food. You want to be able to stick to new habits, to be in control of your decisions rather than being ruled by emotions and thoughts, and these obsession is the way that I describe it. And you want to have internal motivation. So no matter what, you're able to stick to it. You want to be in control of your health, of your weight, and your life. And you want confidence. These are some of the stories that break my heart. You know, you're hiding. Some of you don't go out. Some of you won't go to the beach or the pool. You're embarrassed to be around your family. Some of the stories about ladies that I've spoken to who won't go to the beach with their kids because they're too ashamed of themselves. You don't want that. You want to be able to go to the beach or pool, not worry about what people think, wear the clothes that you want, none of these big baggy clothes that you're hiding in, none of these big baggy clothes that are just for comfort rather than looks. You want to be able to pick anything out of the wardrobe. You want to love going shopping. I know that you hate it. You tell me that you hate going shopping because you don't know what to wear, nothing fits, or it's just a cruel torture. You want to wear whatever you want and feel good, and basically just walk into the room and just shine, radiate confidence. But you also want clarity. You want to know how to get these results. And you also want them to be quick and easy. Because you probably know that over time you will get results, but you need to see those quick rewards. You need to get some quick energy, you need to get some quick weight loss. Because you have lost a little belief as to whether it will work at all. But once you have that, some of those quick results and it's easier, then it's so easy to stick to it. But you need that clarity. You need to know how to get those results. And at the end of the day, what you want most of all is you want results. You wouldn't be here otherwise. That is what I get paid for, your results. You don't pay me for the program, you don't pay me for the coaching or the support group. You pay me for results. And the results that you want is you want to love your body, you want to love your health, and you want to love your life. That is what you want at the end of the day. Okay. And that is exactly what you get. That's what I'm going to walk you through. And I'll give you an example. One of our ladies who she basically overhauled her lifestyle. She'd done all the healthy living. She'd done paleo, she'd done plant-based diets, she tried pretty much every single diet you heard of and some that I hadn't heard of. And, you know, she had a lot of markers for disease, metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure, fatty liver. And what we did was we went through these strategies in order to overhaul her life. She lost 10 kilos easily. But not only that, she found a new lease on life. She got her confidence back, was able to wear clothes that she wanted to wear, but it just filtered out into every single area of her life because she was happy. She felt back in control again. She had this belief. So it's absolutely possible. So let me walk you through these strategies. First of all, which part do you need most right now? Which of those sounds most exciting to you? Hope you're jotting down notes. It's about to get a little bit technical. Okay. So first of all, before we get started, before I go into the biochemistry of burning fat and fat metabolism, I just want to pause for a moment and just get you to have a think about why you are here. What brought you here? Because if you don't understand why you are starting, you are not going to succeed. It doesn't matter what we give you, okay? It doesn't matter what diet you go on, what exercise regime you go on. It's not going to succeed unless you know why you've started, who's counting on you. And I want to give you, I guess, a little bit of a strategy in order to create the power behind that why. So first of all, this is how your brain works, okay? So it actually doesn't know the difference between reality and your imagination, so what you tell it, basically. So and I'll give you an example of how that works. They did a study on some basketball players shooting free throws. Now, they had 3 teams. One team practiced, one team didn't practice, and the other team just visualized shooting the free throws. Okay, the outcome was the team that practiced and the team that visualized the free throws were able to get the same sort of results and improve their performance. The team that didn't practice obviously didn't. So the interesting part is visualization and practice were exactly the same. So as you see in this model here, is you've got imagination, reality, and in the middle the perception. They're exactly the same. Your brain doesn't know. You can put something in front of your brain, it doesn't know whether it's real or not. Okay, that is one of the secrets to finding your inner motivation. So you must find your why. Why have you started? And I'm sorry, it's not about weight loss. It is about being able to wear the clothes that you want, to feel confident, to love yourself. It's about being able to play with your kids. It's about being able to smile. It's about being able to be active as a family or a person. It is these other reasons why you want to lose weight. Okay, it's not about the weight. I just realised I spelled perception wrong. Anyone else notice that? 10 points. So I want to do a quick exercise with you. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine. So you're going to sleep tonight, okay? And then you're going to wake up in the morning. And I'm going to say a miracle has happened, okay? And in this miracle, you have your perfect life, okay? You are your perfect weight. Your health is perfect. You are so happy with your life, your body, and your health, okay? So I want you to have a think. How do you know, when you open your eyes, how do you know that that miracle has happened? It was the first thing you notice. Is it that there's no pain in your body? Is it that you can bounce out of bed easily? The body just moves and you've got that energy. What else do you notice? What do you feel in your body? What do you hear? Do you smell some fresh cooked breakfast? Do you smell coffee? What does it smell like? What are the things that you love in life? What do you hear? Do you hear the kids? Do Do you hear your husband snoring? Do you hear your husband out in the kitchen washing the dishes? What is it that you hear in your perfect life, your perfect day? What else do you see? You know, maybe you get up and look in the mirror. What do you see when you look in the mirror? This is your perfect day, your perfect health, your perfect body. What does that look like? What clothes are you wearing? How do you feel? What are you going to do today in your perfect life? Are you going to go to the beach in your swimsuit? Are you going to go shopping for some clothes? What are you going to wear? What are you going to get from the shops? And how does it feel to be living this life with your perfect body, your perfect health? So this exercise we could do in a lot more detail. We could go through the whole day. We could ask a lot more questions. Get all your senses involved. So your sight, your hearing, your smell, your taste. You taste that coffee on your tongue. I love my coffee. But the idea here is that we're creating a really powerful why. Why you are starting, okay? So I'm going to go into the technical of the switching over to burning fat and fat metabolism. But if you don't know why you're here in the first place, nothing is going to work, okay? So you must understand why and make it crystal clear. Make it something that gets you so excited because you're engaging all those senses. Let yourself free, feel it all. And that is going to continue with your motivation because your brain doesn't know the difference between the reality and what you tell it. Okay? So making sure that you are telling it the amazing life that you are creating. Let's talk about how we do that. Okay, fuel choices. So we've talked about burning fat and burning glucose. Okay, so currently society is burning glucose as its primary fuel source. That is because of the lifestyle conditions, our nutrition, but not only our nutrition, but basically our lifestyles as well. I'm going to explain a little bit to you as we go along, but I want to really, I guess, make this easy to kind of understand these fuel choices. So you can see here we're burning some paper. You may be able to see underneath is a log. So the paper that we're burning is glucose, okay? So in your body, you have two fuel sources. Well, you've got a few different fuel sources, but for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say two. So your paper as your fuel source is glucose, okay? It burns very quickly, and it burns up quickly, so you need to keep putting paper on the fire, okay? So you need to put paper on, burns up, put paper on, burns up. So that means that if you ever need quick energy, your body's going to pick glucose, okay? So the lifestyle factors that require quick energy are going to pick glucose. But here's the thing with glucose, it's very limited. You can only store about 2,000 calories within the body in the muscles and the liver. That's where it gets stored, which is not very much. It's only a few hours worth. It actually doesn't like to be stored. Your body doesn't like glucose in the blood, okay? So it likes less than a teaspoon. It doesn't like it there at all. So it sweeps it up and it stores it. Because the stores aren't very much, once it's full, it'll store it as fat as well. And insulin is what sweeps that up, sweeps up the glucose and stores it, okay? That's one of your fat-storing hormones. Okay, so we've got glucose as one of your fuel sources. That's what you're currently using. You have to keep topping it up because it's burned quickly, okay? So you have to keep eating throughout the day, otherwise you run out of energy, you run out of that fuel. If you start to run low on that, you'll start to feel foggy, like your brain will get foggy. Okay, you may get a little bit nauseous when those get low, or you may get tired and have a bit of an energy crash, or blood sugar crash, or that's basically once your glucose gets low. And here's the thing: when you, especially when you're using this exercise more, eat less model, so obviously you make your glucose low because you're depriving yourself of calories, or you're exercising and using glucose as your fuel for your exercise. Once you get low, you're in this kind of state where you're trying to lose weight, so you don't actually continue to eat to top it back up. Well, the body just goes, hey, that's my fuel source that you're not replenishing. I'm not going to let my body die because it's designed for survival. That is what your body is geared for. So it just gets more efficient. You know, your body just makes sure that, well, I'm just going to preserve that fuel. And it does that by slowing down your metabolism. So that's what went wrong with the Biggest Losers, okay? That's what they communicated to their body. They communicated messages of starvation, so the body adapted, slowed down the metabolism to preserve the glucose fuel, because that's what the body was being told is the primary fuel source. So that is basically glucose metabolism. Underneath the paper there is your logs. That is your fat. Okay, your fat is a completely different fuel source. Its metabolism is very different. Okay, we try to apply our knowledge of glucose metabolism to fat, but it's different. In 1965, we established the hormones are actually the drivers of fat metabolism at multiple pathways, so multiple metabolic pathways within the fat cell, driven by the primary hormone insulin. So it's different. Like it's got nothing to do with calories. It's to do with your hormones. So that explains why things aren't working as you think they would. So basically, we're burning glucose at the moment. Underneath is these logs, and these logs can go for ages. Once you warm them up and they get started, they just keep going and going and going. You don't need to keep topping up your energy. It's just consistent, up and down as you keep popping paper on the fire. And here's the thing with the capacity, and this is why I say unlimited energy. You think of, say, the skinniest person that you know. Okay, you got them in your head. They have at least 40,000 calories of fat. That's 20 times the capacity they do have of glucose. Okay, so they've got 20 times as much fat calories as they do glucose. So they've got 20 times the energy capacity as glucose. Now, what's your fat levels like compared to the skinny person? You're probably here because there's a lot more. So you've basically got an unlimited supply of fat calories that your body can use as fuel. But it's not. Why is it not? Because it's about hormones, not calories. Or calories in, calories out, should I say. Okay? So what happens is we know that insulin is the primary regulator of fat metabolism. So when it's present, when insulin is present, your fat cells lock fat in the fat cells. Okay, they lock it in. But not only that, insulin's job is to sweep up the glucose and store it. So it's also storing fat at the same time. So when insulin is present, it locks the fat in the fat cells, so you cannot access it as a fuel source. But then it's also storing fat as well. When insulin is absent, when insulin is low enough, the fat gets released from the fat cells so you can use it as a fuel for your body. And it is amazing fuel for your body. It's so good. Instead of inflammatory glucose, you have anti-inflammatory fat as your fuel. It has a byproduct. So the byproduct of burning fat is you have these ketone bodies. And there's different versions and they have different benefits. But your brain loves these ketone bodies. They now sell them as drugs, as supplements, because your brain loves them so much. They've marketed it. But you can just do this with your diet and your lifestyle. I'm going to show you how. You've got to lower your insulin low enough to release the fat from the fat cells so that you can burn it as a fuel. And then once you're burning it, your body can, the byproduct of burning the fat is these beautiful molecules that the brain loves. They're using it now to reverse chronic disease, like even Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, because it rebuilds brain cells. They are anti-inflammatory, but they're also they turn on an antioxidant protection system within the body that is switched off when you're burning glucose. Your antioxidant protection system reduces oxidative stress. Do you know what that means? In plain language, that's slowed aging. So burning fat is anti-inflammatory. It slows down the aging process, but it's also just an awesome fuel that is unlimited. So you can have unlimited energy and improved mental concentration, memory, cognitive functioning, because the brain loves it. So that is switching your body from this glucose model over to the fat model. Burn fat. It's awesome. So you came here probably for weight loss, but you got a whole lot of bang for your buck. When you're burning fat, you get so many other benefits: unlimited energy, memory, concentration, reduced aging. It's mind-boggling at the moment, and there's so many cool studies that I'm reading about what we're doing and what we're finding out about burning fat. It's just great. I love it. But here's the thing. We're going to lower insulin low enough to release the fat from the fat cells. But we also want to teach the body to burn that fat, okay? Because some of your lifestyle factors at the moment, like we said, the body wants to pick glucose because it's easier. It's a quick, easy fuel. So there's still lifestyle factors that we need to change that your body will burn the fat instead of the glucose, okay? So I'm going to go into a little bit more of that now. Before I do that, well, this probably touches on it a little bit as well, but you know, I mentioned my background was in nutritional therapy, personal training, but also life coaching. So this is where the power of our habits and what we are changing. So you didn't get here just by eating, the wrong foods, eating the wrong foods or being lazy, like we've kind of discussed. There is also other components that are related to your health that have got you where you are. And I think it's really important to understand these because, like we said, your feelings become part of your ability to lose weight. So here's, if anger, fear, stress, they are all glucose burning, okay? They're fat storing. They're fat storing behavior, okay? Where feelings of calm and love are all fat burning behavior. But not only that, when you're feeling guilty, when you're feeling sad or angry, you don't like that feeling. So then you kind of go to you avoid those feelings by eating. Or being busy is another pattern. So I think it's really important for us to understand this cascade of events that happen that link to your weight and your health. And this is one of the steps that you must understand and integrate into your life if you are to get back control of your health, if you are to get these results. This must be a part of it. You must integrate your mental habits or your mindset. You must integrate your feelings. You can't ignore them anymore. And here's, what sort of happens to kind of help you understand. An event might happen. So say the boss yells at you at work, or the kids snap, or whatever it is. There's an activating event. You can maybe even think about right now something that has happened. Okay? And what happens is you apply your beliefs or values model to this event. Okay? So whatever your beliefs are and your values are, creates a filter over that event. So you only see through that filter. Okay? Then an automatic thought pops into your head based on your beliefs or values, that filter. So that may be, they shouldn't have yelled at me. And that could be because your belief is that people should be, people are kind, or kindness is one of your values. Or, the automatic thought might be, my boss hates me. Okay? And that could be because your belief is, again, that they've yelled at you, therefore they hate you because you believe in love. And that wouldn't be a loving event. The activating event could have nothing to do with you, but what happens is you apply your filters, which then create an automatic thought, which then also create a feeling. So then you feel sad, maybe you feel angry. Now this same event could happen to someone else, and the consequence of that, it can be very different. Example, someone pulls out on the motorway in front of you, or maybe they cut you off as they've got to exit the motorway. Person one has a belief in safety. That's one of their core values. The automatic thought is, yeah, that's not safe. They shouldn't have done that. So then the feeling is anger And their action and behaviour might be pulling their finger or honking their horn. But someone else's belief might be in time or in efficiencies. So they kind of go, yeah, I see how that guy saved time. Automatic thought was, good on him. Feeling neutral. Action or behaviour, nothing. So you can see how our belief system or our values create the filter for our life, that create these automatic thoughts, that create these feelings and drive our behaviour. So there's an opportunity to intercept these. So you can intercept your thoughts. Challenge them, say, are they real? There's an opportunity to sit with those feelings. So rather than having those feelings and not being comfortable with them and avoiding them by going to eat or by doing something else, sit with them for a little bit. The beliefs I want to talk to you about in a little bit in more detail, because yes, this is the filter by which you apply your life. And where do they come from? A lot of these beliefs are set up in the first couple of years of life. Kind of scary given you have no idea what's happening. You won't have any recollective memory. It's all subconscious. So as a child, your experiences form your beliefs and values, and now you apply that filter to your life as an adult. So what we can do is we can tap into this 3-year-old child of yours, this 3-year-old version of you, and connect. And this is going to be a great way to treat yourself better as well. So I want to do a quick exercise. I want you to close your eyes. Okay. And I want you to just rattle through all the nasty things that you say to yourself in your mind. Tell me about them. What do you say? You're fat, you're lazy, you're always failing, give up. What else? Look at your fat thighs, look at your legs wobble. You're so disgusting. Oh, someone said that the other day. Such a nasty word. What's some of the language that you're telling yourself? Just have a think about it. Okay, so we know that you, as an adult, your belief system is from this 3-year-old child. Okay, so how you feel in relation to certain things that happen in your life is based on a belief system you created when you were younger. Okay, so let's talk to that 3-year-old child. What I would like you to do is now imagine that 3-year-old version in front of you. Okay. Now I want you to rattle off all the stuff that you just said to yourself. Okay. You're fat, you're lazy, look at those thighs wobble. You fail at everything. Just give up. How does that make you feel saying that to that child? Okay. How did the child respond? Were they motivated? Did they suddenly start doing the habits that you wanted them to? Were they pumped? No. It's upsetting, isn't it? Especially, I know, we've done this exercise with a few of you who have work with children in childcare. Yeah, it's really upsetting that you're talking to that child that way, but yet you do it to yourself. And that 3-year-old version of you is still inside because that's where your beliefs and values are. It's interesting, isn't it? It's quite upsetting. And look at how the child responds. They're not motivated. So what makes you think that you are going to be motivated into action? What makes you think that telling yourself that you're a failure is going to help you lose weight, to stick to your habits, to get motivated? Let's try it just one more last time. This 3-year-old version of you is in front of you. What is some words of encouragement that you could say right now to the 3-year-old version of you who is experiencing the same sort of issues that you are at life at the moment? What words would you use for a 3-year-old child? Keep going, you're almost there. You are loved no matter what. You are perfect just the way you are. That is how you must speak with yourself. Imagine that 3-year-old child. I want you to pick up that 3-year-old child. Imagine that you, let's shrink them down. Let's make them a bit smaller. Let's make them into kind of like, I don't know, troll size. So shrink that 3-year-old version of you right down. And I want you to put them in your breast pocket right by your heart. And next time you start hearing those thoughts in your head that start saying nasty things, I want you to imagine that 3-year-old child, and I want you to change the way you're talking. You can give feedback to that child, that's fine. You can give encouragement to that child, that's fine. But you do it in a way that you would talk to a 3-year-old child. And let's start loving ourselves better. Okay? Okay, hormones. We know the hormone insulin is obviously responsible for lowering your, allowing the fat to get released from the fat cells. So that you can use it as your fuel. But there's lots of other hormones involved, okay? First of all, your body, your stress response in your body is innate. It's primal. When your heart used to race, it was because a saber-toothed tiger was chasing you. It was because someone was running at you with a spear. So when your heart starts to race, your body prepares you either to fight or to run. That's your fight or flight response, okay? But now, you're not being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, or no one's coming at you with a spear. Well, hopefully not. Instead, you're sitting at your computer and then suddenly you get an email that upsets you or makes you angry. Your boss yells at you. You have an argument with your partner. You're not even standing or moving, yet your body is preparing you for physical stress. Okay, so it does that by giving you your quick energy. And what do we know is our quick energy source is glucose. Okay, because your body needs that quick energy to fight or to run. So it gets the glucose that's stored in your muscles and liver, the glycogen, dumps it into your butt. So stress will spike your blood sugar, spike your insulin, and store fat. Okay, so stress is part of the puzzle of burning fat. We need to manage your stress. We need to balance these hormones. Think of other things that make your heart race. They are also going to make you store fat, okay? So just keep that in mind. Your sex hormones, progesterone, estrogen. Okay, so progesterone is your fat-burning hormone, estrogen is your fat-storing hormone, and they have a beautiful cycle throughout the month, depending on whether you're menopausal or whether you're menstruating. So the cycle kind of is natural and they kind of take turns, but quite often they're out of balance, or quite often the liver isn't functioning as well as it should, and estrogen is where the liver is detoxed. So if the liver is backlogged with other things like refined sugars and carbohydrates and chemicals and medications and toxins and smoking and alcohol and everything else that's sort of foreign to the body, your liver is busy with that, then it's going to go, well, cholesterol, estrogen, which are normally detoxed by the liver, you guys can just go to the back of the queue. So it just dumps it and recycles it through the body. So what happens is you end up with this high levels of estrogen or high levels of cholesterol because the liver just keeps pushing it to the back of the queue because it's so burdened with everything else. So part of this process, if you've got a dominant estrogen state, you're going to be fat storing, not fat burning. Okay. Hunger. Your hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin, we spoke about. Leptin with the biggest loser contestants, whereas virtually non-existent. You can bump up your leptin, which speeds up your metabolism, by using different strategies. And one of those is as simple as good quality fats. Dietary fats increase the hormone leptin, the release of leptin. They make you feel satisfied. Eat fat, it'll make you feel satisfied. Serotonin and melatonin, they're two other kind of critical hormones. Serotonin is made in the gut. So naturally, when you're burning fat, or predominantly made in the gut, when you're burning fat, the foods that you're eating are nourishing your gut. Okay, they're anti-inflammatory, they are healing your gut. So you're getting these short-term benefits of this awesome fuel that gives you lots of energy, you lose weight effortlessly, but long-term you are healing the gut, which is healing and sealing the gut, which from a hormone perspective helps with the hormones that are made within the gut, but also those undigested food particles that leak into the bloodstream when the gut's compromised, and the toxins that leak into the bloodstream when the gut is compromised, that becomes no longer an issue. Because when it is an issue and your gut is compromised, your body attacks some of the proteins like gluten and casein. That's why you react to gluten and dairy, because it's leaking into the bloodstream and the body attacks it because it's foreign. And potentially this can cause thyroid problems, because the molecule shape is similar to the thyroid. So when the body's attacking the gluten and the casein, it's also attacking your thyroid. But also when the gut barrier is compromised, so is the blood-brain barrier. So these toxins and these food particles, which have similar structures to opiates, end up crossing the blood-brain barrier, and then you've got this reaction within the brain. You've got toxins interfering with your neurotransmitters, and you've got these opiate-like structures in there as well. So then you start to become addicted to this gluten and this dairy as well. It's not like an obsessive addiction, it's more just like a craving. Your body wants it and it's easier to have it. So this is kind of the cascade effects, but when we switch you over to burning fat, you heal the gut. So you improve your mental health. Melatonin is one of the other hormones where basically cortisol is your daytime hormone. It peaks in the morning when you when the sun rises, it gets you out of bed. That's if you haven't abused it, and if you're waking up tired, then it's probably crashed. But cortisol should peak in the morning and then taper off as the day goes on, and then melatonin kicks in. If you're still wired in the evening, then your cortisol is also dominant, and that's causing a problem as well. But once melatonin sort of kicks in, then you can go into a restful sleep. And then what happens is when you're well rested, the body can choose fat. If you're in a sleep-deprived state, then your body's going to choose glucose because it's tired. It doesn't want to work hard to burn fat. So you can see how all these hormones we can balance with strategies, with lifestyle strategies, so that your body can burn fat instead of glucose. But when these hormones and these lifestyle factors are out of balance, your body's going to pick glucose every time because it's easy. That is why you're stuck where you are, but it is absolutely possible. I want to probably just finish with the last principle on exercise, because it's, I think, the most hugely understood weight loss tool. And I know this because I was a personal trainer training people within what we call the anaerobic lactate type of energy system. So you've got your three energy systems here. So you've got your ATP, CP, your aerobic, and your anaerobic lactate. Now, if you think of the type of training that you often do as a trainer, it tends to be things like boxing or circuits or basically like boot camps and stuff that make you want to vomit or make your legs feel like jelly. Well, guess what that jelly is? It's a build-up of lactic acid, which is a byproduct of burning glucose, not fat. So I used to train people in this zone because it used to make me feel good as a trainer. Because you get jelly legs and feel nauseous, so you feel like you've had a good workout, which strokes my ego. Because you think I've had a good workout, so I feel good about myself. But it's not specific to your goals if your goal is to burn fat. Fat burning is very different. One, we can build your muscles to increase your metabolism to burn fat. That's where the ATP, CP system comes in. So that's more like your weights. You want your reps to be sort of 8 to 10, so they're not high repetition. We're going to keep them under 10 seconds. That uses that ATP system. Or aerobic. Going for those walks, enjoying the time of playing with your family, where your heart rate is lower so that it's including oxygen, because fat is a fuel that requires oxygen. The other two systems don't use oxygen. So if there's no oxygen, your body can't burn fat. So you want to be able to have a conversation while you're doing your exercise so that you can get into that fat burning zone. So I just want to clear that up. It is so important because that is one of the missing parts. That is one of the bits that gets misguided or misunderstood. And when I talk to people, they're working their butt off, working so hard, but you can work smarter. I've had people working out so hard, eating well, and putting on weight. And that is not right. You can exercise, like I encourage movement, just movement, move your body in a way that you enjoy so that's sustainable, it's fun, and that low intensity is actually fat burning. So my question for you is, when you apply this, what impact is it going to have on your life? Okay, when you change your exercise, when you balance your hormones, when you switch over to burning fat, when you have control of your emotions and your mind and those thought patterns, how is this going to change your life? Where will it impact your life? Is it at home? At work? So I guess I have a question for you. And that, well, to start with, I'm not sure why you're here. Everyone is here for different reasons. It could be that you've tried everything else and nothing works for you anymore. That's usually where we meet. Could be that you're overwhelmed. You are doing exactly what you think is right, and you have no idea what the missing link is. Or it could be that you saw hormones and you're like, finally, that could make sense. Hormones could just explain it. Now you know the missing pieces. You know that weight loss is effortless when you balance your hormones. You know that when you're in control, your thoughts and emotions, that health and weight loss just comes naturally. You know that you can be indulgent and have a sustainable, healthy life. And you know that you can have a body and life that you love. So this really brings up the question, how can you get these results in your life? How do you get your dream body? Where you can wear the clothes that you want and look in the mirror and just smile, to lose the weight effortlessly. Well, the answer to that is you can do it slow or you can do it fast. Here's what you need to know. I want you to make a decision. You can either do it slow, try to patch together some of the stuff that you've learned from me today. But here's the thing, you and I both know the trial and error game. We know it because you've been doing it a very long time now. You've been trying things, filling in the gaps, being misguided, getting frustrated, falling on and off the wagon again. And it's been a process of over years, okay? And you also know I've created a solution. And that's the Fat Burning Made Easy program, okay? That's where we balance your hormones, we switch you over to burning fat, and we do it in 8 weeks. But I need to tell you, it's not for everyone, okay? This is not for people who aren't ready to take action now. Because if not now, when? Because life always happens, okay? There is never a perfect time, okay? So this is not for people who aren't ready to take action. It's not for people who are interested in a quick fix rather than changing your life. This is a life-changing program. This program will be the last program that you will ever do because you have everything you need to succeed and be sustained for the rest of your life, okay? And this is not for people who aren't willing to invest in themselves. Time, energy, and money. It takes commitment from you in order to get results. So if you're not prepared to commit, then this isn't the program for you, okay? So I really built this program to fill in all those missing pieces, okay? I've been coaching for 10 years now. There's I know the missing pieces in your puzzle, so I just put this program together to fill in those missing pieces, and I guide you step by step. I hold your hand along the way. Okay, it's designed specifically to get you short-term results, so quick wins like weight loss, that unlimited energy we spoke about, while long-term we're nourishing your body back to health. Okay, so you can spend less time worrying about your food and your calories, and you can actually spend that time enjoying your body and life. So let me take you through the model and how it works. First of all, I told you I know the missing pieces of the link. This is the success model, the world-class content. I educate you, empower you with all the information that you need to know for success. So that covers, actually I'll go through the content in a moment. So the education piece empowers you for when the program finishes, that you have everything you need to continue. I'm not just going to leave you out on your own. You have everything in that world-class content. It is world-class because it's using the latest science. Personalized coaching. Look, I've got clients who work shift works, I've got clients that work on farms, I've got clients who work in corporate, I've got clients who don't work. Everyone is different. I've got people who can't tolerate dairy, people who can't tolerate gluten, I've got people who have allergies to coconut. Everyone is different, so we personalize the approach for you. And we also know, and this is the power of coaching, we're able to ask those questions that allow you to uncover or discover the answers yourself as well. We push you in ways that you couldn't do yourself because we have a different perspective from the outside in. I'm trained to ask questions to push you further than you can go on your own. And there's also the supportive community. This is women who are going through the same thing as you, okay? They're usually motivated, well, all of them are motivated by weight. That's how we meet. But they've got other health issues they're fixing at the time. There's lots of women in there that have problems with sleep and are tired and are getting their sleep back. There's pretty much everyone who's not comfortable in their clothes. They don't wear the clothes that they want because they're hiding bits and pieces of their body. Lots of you have told me that you don't want to go to the beach or the pool because you are embarrassed, or you hate going shopping because you don't want to pick up those clothes that just aren't you. You describe yourself as a fraud in those clothing. Okay? They are all the women in the community that you can relate to, that share the journey with. So those three pieces of the puzzle are what guarantee your success, and I will guarantee your success in a moment. These are the pillars. So clarity and confidence. In this pillar, you're going to be liberated from your insecurities, okay? The overwhelm, and you're going to be empowered and confident. Energized is your second pillar, and we're going to double your energy, and that's going to happen within the first few weeks. Balance is your third pillar, and we are going to restore harmony in your body by balancing your hormones. And in a peace, you're going to have an underlying sense of calm and well-being because everything in your body has become aligned again. These are the steps, these are the modules that we go through. We take you through one preparation when we studied adult learning. Basically, pretty much no adult learning programs included preparation, where it has been determined that that's one of the keys to success. So naturally, we have a very thorough preparation section. It's been described as that should include at least 10% of the content. But that is just, yeah, super dense. When we prepare you with everything you need to know there, we go through the power of why, we go through embracing feelings, and we give you the strategies in order to do that. We reprogram your thought patterns. We teach you the next level nutrition. That's the latest in the nutritional science. We teach you about going through intermittent fasting, how we can speed up your metabolism, and we can burn fat faster by some specific targeted intermittent fasting strategies. We look at exercise from a different way. It's really about child's play. It's about more so about movement. Happy hormones, we balance all your hormones in that module. Sleeping beauty, we restore your sleep in that module. Storing fat, we remove all your fat storing behavior in that module. Stress to impress, we look at stress management strategies that are in that module. And Relax Haven is really about your self-care module. So these are the modules that are included in this program. This is the online content. This is the world-class content that we talk about. And then you get also the coaching and the community as well. And guess what? This model is so successful that I guarantee it, okay? I guarantee that you'll get your body and your health back, or you get your money back.